All right, Dermot, we are live. Thank you so much for taking out some time, my man.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate the support on Ruthless. People are going to love this movie.
Oh man, well let me tell you, I've seen it and I've already pre-ordered it on Vudu.
I love it.
So so my wife can watch it when it comes out. It's already done. I got a pre-order. We're all set.
I love it. Thank you so much. That's how you'll get it here. And most of the world, in certain countries in Eastern Europe, they're putting it in the theaters. So it's
See, that's
definitely
pretty rad.
it's pretty rad, and it tells you what kind of movie it is. It's really a bruiser, and follows straight in the line of some of those great revenge beat 'em up movies. Taken
Sure,
comes to
man.
mind. Of course, they're obviously tapping into that with the colors and everything else. So I love being in this space. Thanks for putting me on air.
No worries, man. So tell me, what really drew you to the role of Harry in Ruthless? How did you come on board?
I'll be honest. No one's ever offered me a part where I'm the lead guy in such a physical role.
Sure.
Certainly I've played other fights in all sorts of different venues, different contexts. The Gray comes to mind as such a physical movie,
Absolutely.
and I've always, stood up to any of the tests. This time I really felt determined to take on this part and make the most of it. Then a minute later, I'm talking to Art Camacho, so I knew I was in the best hands I could possibly dream of. He's really a sensei who knows every maneuver. He himself exists in a space between, superhero and action figure, and just a dynamite guy, who's done it all in the film world. So between the two of us grinders, we really put in a good turn, and he guided me through every move on this show.
It's awesome, man. I mean, I was gonna say, I gotta admit that this is one demanding role for you, and I guess what did you do to prepare? I mean,
I didn't have that much time really. I'm trying to think if I even went with gloves on any time leading up to this. Strange how it works. I was even thinking before my interview this morning, how did I? I only was able to find the time to get to the hotel gym handful of times in a couple of weeks. I'm traveling back and forth. Um, this is the way it goes. I'm just really physically able guy. And the first time I trained in boxing and hand to hand, I was 22. It was 23, maybe one of my first movies. And I had a great coach then. I wish I could name him. I had a great stunt double, Corey. Um, I can almost get his name from 35 years ago too, on a movie called Bright Angel. And ever since then, periodically, of course, the bar was set so high by other actors about how you have to appear and how tough you have to be. That's
sure.
part of the game for decades in this show. So, yeah, finally, all that sort of like slowly cop together these skills. And I always worked with great people designing the fight here. I picture one in the thing called Love with River. That fight outside the Bluebird means so much to me. Shameless. There's a couple fights. William Macy and I go tumbling through the kitchen. All of that's done on the day, no prep. It's not like you're building up for it. So
Wow.
that's the kind of fighting that I would have been asked to do on the occasional scene, but it's usually, pretty physical stuff. And so now I just do it every other scene in this movie, and it was amazing. Of course, I was really done in at the end of the day, but with Art and me being now part of the Art Camacho experiment, I was so energized by it and so turned on by these characters and how true this guy's journey felt.
That's amazing, man. And how was it working with and also kicking Jeff Fahey's ass in this movie?
Well, Jeff Fahey's a legend. I've
That's what
always
I
wanted
mean.
to work
Yeah.
with him. And there too, they just fly him in for those couple of days and get him out of the way. It was amazing to have him in there and talk about a guy who knows the moves physically. So that fight was incredible. And we take out a bunch of the furniture in that
Right.
office of his and stuff. So that was always written in. And then so in a fight like that, you're dealing with two actors who are doing all of their own up until maybe that impact with glass or what have you.
Sure.
But that's me throwing the other guy in there. Um, so in other words, it's designed by the set designer, the set the the art director has to provide the stunt people with pieces that can be broken by actors and stuntmen. You have to double their wardrobe. They're all the departments have to be, special effects, makeup,
Cool.
all coming together for those scenes in a way that not so much if you're having a scene around the dinner table.
Sure.
Same, yes, but it's on such a flurry. It's so exciting to do. So then that energy gets pumped into those scenes.
That's
Um,
amazing, man. I
then
love
they
it.
edit the shit out of it, and it looks
Oh,
like that.
oh,
So,
man, it was great. Loved it.
yeah,
So,
thank
human trafficking is actually a pretty scary and like a real threat in today's times, unfortunately. And obviously the film is fiction, but it still feels like it can really happen. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I'll touch on it briefly. My character's daughter had already had fallen victim to a gang that was trying to abuse her. So then, when one of my wrestling students, a girl wrestler who's really tough, gets abducted from a very bad family situation, there's no one else around to take the reins. They jump jurisdictions and go from, I reckon it's Cali based or LA
Yeah.
to Vegas. So her coach goes out and gets her and fights his way through to figure out who has her and what they're planning. So yeah, that's what drives this story, and that's why the action and the fighting in it is so real. It's because the stakes are very real, and it's homespun. The movie feels like it. Can I even say that maybe because it's not riddled with movie stars, the actors, boy, I wish I could name them all in these roles. Maurizio is the stepfather to her. These guys, they make it so real
Sure.
that helps my performance look realer, et cetera. It's just a great combination on this movie of handmade movie that came out great.
That's amazing, man. And so switching gears a little bit, you are no stranger to the horror genre with the recent Scream 6 and Insidious 3, which was great. What do you enjoy most about that genre? I'm a big horror fan, so
Thank you. Well, Scream 6 is just the most amazing experience. It keeps on rolling. The fan base is just wild and wonderful. And what that movie comes to represent to people, it also covers the basis. Might just be the thrills of it. It might be that you're kind of a detective trying to figure out who it is. It could actually just be facing your fears and all that. It's phenomenal, and I'm thrilled I was part of that franchise because it really touches people together, which seems inverse somehow with it being a mass murder stabbing movie that has humor in it. I mean, it's really crazy. Insidious, talk about crazy. That's like psycho in your mind,
I know it.
paranormal crazy. So as much as that they're similar, that they're horror genres, they're very different appeal to people.
Sure.
And the Insidious fans too. I'm thrilled to be part of that genre, but maybe if you know enough, Insidious 3 kind of goes off on the side. It's the origin story for Lynn
Right.
Shay, Lee
Sure.
Wanell's character. But here's the trivia beat on it. It was one of the actors on Scream came up to me on day 3 and said, "Here's Insidious 3," and zoomed in, and it's her. Jenna Ortega's in there at about 9 or 10 years old. She's the
Get
neighbor.
out of here. That's wild.
So
I love it.
we're both in both of those genres. That's about the only thing I have in common with Jenna Ortega, except our friendship. So that's a little trivia beat there.
That's amazing, man. All right, so last question I got is, and this one's for my wife. So, any chance of a return to the role of Michael O'Neal and maybe a follow up to Best Friend's Wedding?
Well, yeah, everyone hopes so. That's for sure. There's always, so that's a dumb answer. In other words, what's your wife's name? I agree with her. Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
Shauna. Yeah.
All right, Shauna, here's a yes. It should happen. So I'll do my best for sure. Especially at this turn, I think it could really be hilarious. But your wife will enjoy Anyone But You. That comes out on the 22nd, right
Oh
at the
yeah. I
holidays.
was gonna
Yeah.
bring that up, but I
Yes,
I I
please,
wanted to
because
keep
that
it.
one's a
Yeah.
real crowd pleaser, and will definitely make you laugh over the holidays, big time.
Oh yeah. Well, We already have our tickets on the 22nd, so we're good to go, my man.
I love it. Definitely. That's a date movie. I'm thrilled you guys are going out to the theater the way you know who intended.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, for sure. Wow, cool, man.
All right, cool. Well, listen, thanks so much for the time. I wish you the best of luck on both films, and I'll be spreading the word as much as I can, Dermot. All right.
Thanks too. Drop a line on Breakwater. That comes out same day as Anyone But You.
Oh,
Breakwater's the movie. Dark thriller with a revenge theme and a jailbreak and a couple of beat ups in that one too.
nice.
Look for that where I play Ray Childress in there.
That's
Um,
awesome, man.
so that's
Thank you
three
so
this month.
much.
Enjoy at least one of them with your wife.
I will. No question about it, my man.
Have a blast. Thanks,
Take
Mike.
care. Thanks.